This episode of Tekzilla is sponsored by Netflix.
I wasn't here on Monday, obviously.
Right.
Robert and I have switched this week because I was out of town. But you guys definitely covered Matt Honen's whole situation with his entire digital life basically being wiped out by hackers, and it was horrifying. You know, he's a writer for Wired, and he used to write for Gizmodo. Hackers wanted his Twitter account. He has a very short 3-letter Twitter account, @Matt, M-A-T. But they ended up getting his Twitter account. They got Gizmodo's Twitter account, which was still tied into his other account, his Gmail account, his Amazon account, and also his .Mac account, which was a major problem.
Right, because they got his iCloud.
You get iCloud, and then you can remotely wipe your iPhone, your iPad, and of course, your MacBook, which is like, wow. I can't even imagine, but he didn't have a backup. He didn't have a backup of his MacBook, which is
because Matt didn't have a backup of that MacBook, he lost all of his data, all the photos of his daughter, which is brutal.
Really brutal.
This is really, really brutal. We got an interesting email from a viewer, or a former viewer named Richard yesterday. He wrote, well, actually, Apple will give anyone your password if you know the questions to the security questions. Stop the sensationalism.
Okay, well, that's a problem because this stuff is easily findable, obviously.
Well, here's the thing. These weren't security questions, right? This was having 4 digits that are found pretty much in every credit card printout available. Frankly, I think security questions, at least good ones, are a lot more secure than digits that are commonly found in credit card receipts. You know, using user-selected pictures that are identified at login are good. You know, there's a lot of stuff we've kind of taken for granted because the vast majority of people, right, security through obscurity. You know, you ask email about people being you know, fraud on eBay, and eBay's, if they'll even answer your question, which they won't, their response is, you know, the vast majority of transactions, 99.999%, are perfectly happy and successful. You know what I mean? And it's the truth. They're right. The vast majority of transactions on the internet go just fine. But some don't, and I think people need to know that it's really easy to get your life taken over online.
It's scary.
Yeah, well, Ars Technica actually summarized it really well. It's time to audit your cloud identity, and this is a big deal because, you know, it may not be hackers. Like Matt had this really cool Twitter name, but if you have a ticked off roommate, a family member that maybe has some drug issues, maybe somebody gets lucky pulling mail out of your mailbox. That's a common source of identity theft. Mailbox on a rural road, people yank the mail out. They walk down, they yank mail, and they wait till they get some really good info, and then they use it to make mayhem.
Well, fortunately, this has encouraged Apple to temporarily cease their support staff from giving out ID information over the phone.
Or at least the ID password resets over the phone.
Right.
So they've stopped that temporarily.
So you're not going to be able to do much stuff with if you happen to lose your Apple ID this week, it may not be the best time to call support staff.
Right.
Yeah, and Amazon has entirely ended the ability to add a credit card to an account over the phone, which is good. So all you needed before was a name, an email address, and a billing address to add a credit card to an account. Then you could call back, add an email, and take over the account. So Matt didn't do anything wrong. He should have had backups of his notebook, but beyond that, there wasn't much that he could have done to stop this because, you know, hackers knew how to exploit these security holes in Amazon and Apple. Yes, maybe he did have, you know, there was one thing he said, I think, that he had too many, like, you know, he was using the same login for too many different kinds of things. So there's some stuff that maybe he could have looked at, but this is something that a lot of people do. I mean, it's not uncommon at all.
No, but no matter how...
It's the holes that made it easy for the social engineers to take over his accounts.
And that's where it gets really interesting because literally, like, you know, the Apple ID with the 4-digit with the 4-digit code they got from Amazon, they got the Apple ID.
It's all daisy chained together.
Yeah, with the 4-digit code somebody get from a credit card receipt, they could get your Apple ID. So, you know, 2-factor authentication on his Gmail would have helped protect him, and Veronica's going to show you how to turn that on later in the show. And hopefully Apple's going to permanently suspend the over-the-phone ID resets. You know, in the meantime, yeah, we all got to remember to back up. We talk about this all the time. Back up your data. We're going to do a fast how-to on the 3-2-1 rule of backing up later in the show.
Yes, and if you're on iCloud, make sure you turn off the remote wipe for your PC or your Mac. You know, I did that last night as well. I thought it would be convenient to have on, but now I'm realizing what a terrifying security thing it is, and it's scary. It's probably okay to use for your phone because you're usually making a lot of backups over iTunes of your phone if you're doing Woo! Hey now.
As I
Good
throw
catch.
my phone as I flow my phone around the room. And look, if Apple permanently sort of locks down that social engineerable hole there, you know, you can probably turn your notebook back on as long as you haven't like given your password to a girlfriend or something, or a boyfriend. I'm creating a secret email account that nobody knows about to back up my account. It's not a public account that a lot of people know about.
Interesting.
You know, obviously I have a high profile because, you know, I make television with Veronica and Robert and everybody, but the reality is, you know, if you've been using the same email account for years and everyone knows about that email account, and let's say you have a giant party over at your house, you know, I mean, things can kind of spiral from there. Look, I love trusting people, but sometimes trusting gets you hurt.
Yeah, and if your bank or credit card company offers them, single-use credit card numbers are a good idea. At least, you know, think twice about where you store your credit cards online, and think about what accounts you have that you've given access to other accounts with.
Right.
You know, we sign into things over Twitter all the time. We sign into things with our Dropbox account all the time. But if somebody malicious gets into your primary email account, can they take over your online storage or your bank account, for example? Or if they get into your Twitter, can they then access other accounts that you've given Twitter access to? It's all very, you know, check out your permissions for sure, and make sure that if you're not using a specific application anymore, turn off the permissions to that app from the Twitter settings.
Because I was shocked to find out there's like 25 things that have access to my Twitter login.
Yeah.
And my Twitter login
Google
is,
too.
Yeah.
You give a lot of things access via your Google account.
You know,
and I checked that out under privacy settings as well.
It gets a little scary. Look, I mean, look, I don't want to be sensationalistic. I apologize if the title was that offensive, but I want people to be thinking about security and backing up. There's some more great ideas in Ars Technica. Secure your digital self, auditing your cloud identity we mentioned before. But they talk about, you know, strong passwords. Do you share your cloud services with other people, such as family members or friends? Do you use the same email address and password as your credentials for more than just one service? Because that means, like, you know, if you know your Dropbox accounts were compromised earlier a few weeks ago, that means, you know, hackers and people trading this information online now actually have that information they can swap. You know, do you use the same credentials for different services? It's a really good list of stuff for you to look at and examine. Look, we're probably not totally doomed. Most people are never going to get hacked. It just feels that way this week. But we want you, Tekzilla viewer, beloved friend, you in the audience, to basically look around and make sure you're doing the best things possible to keep all of your information, your banking information, your social information, your files secure and safe.
Yes, and we will have more tips on how to do just that when we come back, but right now it is time to thank one of our sponsors.
Getting great TV shows and movies at home has never been easier. All you need is Netflix. I've got it. When you sign up for Netflix like I did, you can instantly watch thousands of titles on a vast array of Netflix-compatible devices. Xbox 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii console, Roku boxes, Netflix-enabled HDTVs, set-top boxes, Blu-ray players, Apple TVs. I could go on for hours, but I won't. You know why? Because you need to become a Netflix member. You get to instantly watch as many TV shows and movies as you want, anytime you want, for a low, low monthly price. No late fees, no due dates, just lots of entertainment, 24 hours a day, over the internet, to your face. If you're a new member and a Tekzilla viewer, you're watching, aren't you? You can get a free 30-day trial membership. Go to netflix.com/Tekzilla. Do us a favor and sign up today. It is good stuff. Netflix.com/Tekzilla, unless you're in the UK or Ireland, in which case use netflix.co.uk/Tekzilla or netflix.ie/Tekzilla. Seriously, people, I love Netflix. They have amazing documentaries, there's feature-length movies. I finally got to see Captain America for the 4th time, and I'm watching Breaking Bad, streaming movies, TV shows, when you want, wherever you want, on the device you want. Check it out, people. And do us a favor, use netflix.com/Tekzilla when you try it out, so they know we sent you, and you will be supporting the show.